Okay, I feel like with this one, we have the luxury of taking a little bit of a breather. I don't need to be too scared that there's gonna be a trade happening before the video goes public on YouTube. So, today's video is going over a trade idea that has been tossed around so often that at this point I think most New Jersey Devils fans are already aware that this is a thing. Let's talk today about goaltending and head over to Winnipeg, Manitoba, because with the Winnipeg Jets lies a goaltender who is amongst a group of guys who many are labeling as potential targets in trades. You've got a bunch of guys on this team that could be on the move, like center Mark Scheifele, for example, and another one of those names that has been tossed around is goaltender Connor Hellebuyck, one of the best goalies in the NHL, and a guy who is only on the books till the end of 23-24. Connor Hellebuyck is 30 years old, and he is signed to a $6.166 million AAV deal. He's been one of the top goalies in the NHL the past few years. Even last season, he had a .920 save percentage in 64 games played. Add to that the .924 year he had, the .922 year he had. Along with that Vezina trophy to his name, Connor Hellebuyck has no need to prove himself any further. He is already one of the top goalies in the NHL. However, when it comes to the Hellebuyck situation here in Winnipeg, there have been a lot of rumors saying that he may not want to re-sign long-term. Same could be said about Mark Scheifele. You already traded away some other players like Pierre-Luc Dubois. You let Blake Wheeler go. He's no longer a Jet. This team is on the cusp of significant change, and when it comes to some of the core pieces on your team the past few years, these are the guys that are going to ignite that in the biggest way possible. This could start out with Connor Hellebuyck going to free agency next year, not re-signing, or it could start out with Connor Hellebuyck simply just getting traded. Which is why, if we go over to the New Jersey Devils, there is a conversation to be had there. You see, the Devils are a pretty good team, and we've been talking about this the entire offseason, that the acquisitions they have, the new forwards, the defense, it's strong in New Jersey. But the only area of quote-unquote weakness is in net. You've got Vitek Vanacek and Akira Schmid in there, two guys who are pretty alright, and they've showed off pretty well at the NHL so far, but none of these guys are #1 bona fide superstars. Connor Hellebuyck is. This is why when you talk about a New Jersey team that kind of has it all, a stacked top six, a dedicated bottom six, I love Thomas Nosek, I love Curtis Lazar, two very good players in my opinion, the defense is strong too. Goaltending is the only area of need for this team, which is why you had yourselves Mike Rupp on NHL Network earlier yesterday pushing for the Devils to acquire Connor Hellebuyck. Now, there's a segment on Twitter. It's a 2.5-minute clip. Actually, it's from 2 days ago, August 22nd on TV. But we're going over onto Spectre's Hockey from August 23rd, so the day after, because what they did on this website was they summarized what Mike Rupp says on the NHL Network show, so I don't have to screenshot or copy the clip and put it on the video here. We can just screenshot the text. Mike Rupp believes the New Jersey Devils should attempt to acquire Connor Hellebuyck. The 30-year-old Winnipeg Jets goaltender appears reluctant to sign an extension and could seek upwards of $9 million annually in his next deal, given his strong play over the past 5 years. Rupp doesn't know if the Devils would be interested in signing Hellebuyck to an expensive long-term extension. However, he has this season left on his contract, and Rupp thinks the Devils would be a good fit if Hellebuyck wants to win the Stanley Cup. Rumors have linked Hellebuyck to the Devils for a while now. Rupp believes they have the players and the pieces to make an offer to the Jets, noting that goaltending is an X-factor for New Jersey. Perhaps spending the season with the Devils would make Hellebuyck more receptive to staying on a slightly more affordable contract. And this is not the first time the idea has been brought up. It's not just Mike Rupp on NHL Network doing this. There's been trade speculation from guys like Nick Kypreos, I'm pretty sure. Frank Saravalli went out there, or was it Pierre LeBrun, one of those two? There's a lot going on here with Hellebuyck in New Jersey. And in order to help us out, we're going over onto a Reddit thread from the R Devils subreddit from last month. It was Nick Kypreos who said this: the word out at the draft is that Fitzgerald is taking a real good look at Connor Hellebuyck. Some of the comments go out there and bring out what pros and cons could arise from this sort of acquisition from the New Jersey perspective. Crashy Boy goes out there and says this: Connor Hellebuyck as a rental would immediately make us potential cup favorites this year. But man, a potential extension scares me. I hope Fitzgerald sticks to his guns if it's true that he's not thrilled about a potential $9+ million price tag. Those kinds of goalie contracts almost never work out. You then have a reply here, it's all part of the plan. Bring Hellebuyck on in his current salary and then convince him to take a pay cut due to team chemistry and not living in Winnipeg. You then have the opposing perspective that just says, hey, pay the guy. Tron Vin says this, I think the cap space argument is dumb. This is our best chance at a cup and maybe our best roster since the dynasty years, but goaltending is a huge question mark. Every contending team is tight salary cap-wise, and no player ever gets their initial asking price. Yes, Connor Hellebuyck wants $9.5 million. Can he get both and play on a contender? No. Secondly, Vitek was a stable goalie until the second half and the playoffs. If he didn't take such a decline, I'd be more than okay running it back. Akira Schmid is not ready to commandeer the starting net. He got tired from playing starter in the time he had spent with the playoffs in the Carolina series, and it took him 3 games to recover. Thirdly, do not base our entire future on Akira Schmid's season. He played less than 30 games with a few coming in late. A smart GM should sort of throw away his season. There then is an ensuing argument as to the Devils' goaltending situation throughout the 2023 playoffs and who was right, who was wrong, whatever, but still. The argument is Connor Hellebuyck is an upgrade, and he is a guy whom you could pretty much give the keys to the car to and just let him do what he needs to do. No worrying here with Connor Hellebuyck. He's a Vezina-caliber goaltender. You're good for getting a 910+ save percentage out of this guy every year, and if he's having a good one, 920+ as well. So, for New Jersey, is this the type of thing you want to go after? And what is the price? I've got a few questions for Devils fans out there because, hey, we've got a few of you on the channel. If it is Connor Hellebuyck you're going after, and if it is an extension that is going to be done after, what is the trade price in your opinion? Do you shell out Vitek Vanecek's contract and add on, I don't know, some other good prospect that the Jets might want? They're pretty much heading towards a rebuild. Not by choice, but by the situation of the better players on the team. You already lost Wheeler, Dubois is already gone, you have Mark Scheifele probably on the move too, and then this Connor Hellebuyck thing. Do you force your hand and say, okay, well, we'll just give you prospects and picks because that's kind of what you're looking for in this return, isn't it? Or is there a roster player or two whose salary balances out the situation that you'd be interested in trading away instead? If you're a Winnipeg Jets fan, let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. How do you feel about the idea of trading Connor Hellebuyck to New Jersey, giving him a chance to win the Stanley Cup as quickly as 23-24? What is the trade return you want from the Devils? Are there any prospects that stand out in your mind? Are there any goaltenders or any roster players that you think should be considered to make the salary work and to make the roster positions work too? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section below about this entire Connor Hellebuyck to New Jersey thing. Do you agree with the perspective that it's kind of fishy for the Devils to sign an extension long-term, $9+ million per season for a long-term deal? Is Connor Hellebuyck worth that money? Do you want to say no to that because, hey, look at other guys, Carey Price, Sergei Bobrovsky, these guys got the big bag, and you could say it's kind of hurting their teams now? Let me know your thoughts about Connor Hellebuyck and the New Jersey Devils. I hope you enjoyed this video, and bye.